Your life is not shaped by luck. It is shaped by the thoughts you allow to live inside your mind. Control your thoughts, or they will control you. Thought discipline creates strong lives. Most people think their life is shaped by luck, by circumstances, by the hand they were dealt. But that belief alone is the reason they stay where they are. Life does not reward wishful thinking. It responds to disciplined thought. Every strong life you admire, every leader, builder, creator, was first built in silence, in the unseen arena of the mind. Long before results appeared, there was control. Control over attention, control over emotion, control over reaction. Weak lives are loud. Strong lives are deliberate. The difference is not intelligence. It is not talent. It is not opportunity. It is the ability to choose a thought and hold it, especially when everything tries to pull you away. Thoughts are not harmless. They are architects. They design your habits, your decisions, your standards. Repeated thoughts become beliefs. Beliefs harden into identity, and identity quietly dictates the direction of your life. This is why discipline begins before action. It begins with what you allow to live rent-free in your mind. Most people wake up and let the world decide how they think. News, opinions, fears, comparisons. They consume it all without resistance. Then they wonder why their energy is scattered, their focus weak, their confidence fragile. A disciplined mind does not drift, it decides. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times, not because he was confused, but because his thinking was anchored. Each failure was filtered through one controlling thought: this will work. That single disciplined idea outlasted frustration, doubt, and public ridicule. Abraham Lincoln lost elections, businesses, years of progress, but his mind never accepted defeat as identity. He disciplined his thinking around purpose, not circumstance. History didn't remember his setbacks, it remembered his steadiness. The world tries to train you to react. Strong lives are built by those who respond instead. Reaction is automatic. Response is chosen. Thought discipline is the pause between stimulus and decision. That pause is power. In that space, you either repeat the patterns of the past or you interrupt them. You cannot live a focused life with a distracted mind. You cannot build confidence with undisciplined self-talk. You cannot expect strength if you rehearse weakness every day. What you rehearse internally becomes what you perform externally. Strong people do not think positively all the time. They think intentionally. They notice negative thoughts, but they do not bow to them. They challenge them. They replace them. They refuse to let temporary emotion become permanent belief. This is not suppression. This is command. When you discipline your thoughts, you stop negotiating with mediocrity. You stop asking permission to believe in yourself. You stop waiting for motivation and start operating from commitment. And once the mind is trained, action is inevitable. Because the strongest lives are not built by force, they are built by focus. And focus begins with what you choose to think, again and again, especially when no one is watching. A disciplined mind does not mean a quiet life. It means a directed one. Storms will still come, doubt will still knock, fear will still whisper. But when thought is trained, none of these are in control anymore. They become background noise, not commands. Most people believe emotions lead their thoughts. Strong lives reverse the order. They decide how to think before emotion tries to decide for them. This is why two people can face the same setback and walk away with completely different futures. One lets the moment define them. The other uses discipline to define the moment. Thought discipline is not about denying reality. It is about interpreting reality correctly. A setback is not a verdict. A delay is not a denial. A mistake is not an identity. But without discipline, the mind exaggerates pain and shrinks possibility. It tells stories that were never true, then lives as if they are permanent. A disciplined thinker asks better questions. Instead of, "Why is this happening to me?" they ask, "What is this teaching me?" Instead of, "What if I fail?" they ask, "What if this is the training?" That shift alone separates victims from builders. Look at Henry Ford, bankrupt more than once, laughed out of rooms, written off as unrealistic. But his mind was not available for doubt. He didn't wait for confidence, he enforced clarity. He repeated one controlling idea: mass production will change the world. Everything else adjusted around that belief. Strong lives are built by a few dominant thoughts, repeated daily, protected fiercely. Weak lives are crowded with random thoughts, entertained casually. What you repeatedly think about becomes familiar. What is familiar becomes comfortable. What is comfortable becomes your standard. This is why discipline feels uncomfortable at first. You are breaking familiarity with limitation. The mind resists structure the same way muscles resist weight. But resistance is not a warning, it is proof of growth. Every time you interrupt a negative thought instead of following it, you strengthen mental muscle. Every time you choose focus over distraction, belief over doubt, intention over impulse, you are training a stronger life. And training is never dramatic. It is quiet, repetitive, uncelebrated. Nobody applauds you for controlling your thoughts in private, but the results appear in public, in confidence, in presence, in progress. Thought discipline is not about becoming emotionless, it is about becoming unshakable. Because when your inner world is ordered, the outer world starts responding differently. Opportunities become clearer, decisions become simpler, energy stops leaking in 100 directions. You begin to move with purpose instead of panic. This is not overnight transformation. This is daily governance of the mind. And the ones who commit to it, they don't just survive life, they shape it. They shape it because they refuse to let chance run their inner world. A disciplined mind chooses its inputs carefully: what you listen to, what you repeat, what you tolerate. Most lives drift because thoughts drift. A strong life has a filter. Not every opinion deserves entry. Not every emotion deserves attention. Not every fear deserves a response. Dale Carnegie understood this deeply. He wrote that people are not disturbed by things, but by the view they take of them. That single insight explains why discipline matters more than circumstance. Two people can stand in the same fire. One is refined, the other is consumed. The difference is interpretation. A disciplined thinker does not argue with reality, but they refuse to surrender meaning to it. They decide meaning deliberately. Failure becomes feedback. Pressure becomes preparation. Loneliness becomes focus. This is not optimism. This is command. Thought discipline gives you command over reaction. When criticism comes, the undisciplined mind collapses inward. The disciplined mind asks, "Is there truth here I can use?" then discards the rest. When success arrives, the undisciplined mind relaxes into comfort. The disciplined mind tightens standards and raises vision. This is why strong lives keep expanding while others peak early. Look at Lincoln. Rejected, defeated, mocked, yet his private thinking was anchored in purpose. He rehearsed meaning when no one was listening. By the time history watched him, his mind was already prepared. Public strength is always built in private thought. Every morning, before the world speaks to you, your mind should already know its direction. Without that, the loudest voice wins, and it's rarely the wisest. Thought discipline begins with one daily question: what kind of mind am I practicing today? Because you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your thinking habits. If your thoughts are scattered, your life fragments. If your thoughts are intentional, your life aligns. This is why journaling works, why visualization works, why silence works. They are not rituals, they are training grounds. You are teaching the mind to stay where you place it. And once the mind learns discipline, it stops begging for motivation. It moves on command. Action becomes natural. Consistency becomes normal. Confidence becomes quiet. You stop chasing belief, you operate from it. And slowly, almost without noticing, life starts responding. People feel your certainty, opportunities align with your clarity, resistance weakens against your persistence. This is the invisible advantage of thought discipline. No spotlight, no applause, just strength. And strength compounds. Strength compounds because disciplined thought removes internal friction. Most people are exhausted not from work, but from inner conflict. They argue with themselves all day. They doubt, then desire. They commit, then retreat. Their energy leaks through indecision. A disciplined mind is unified. When it decides, it moves. When it commits, it endures. When it falls, it stands without negotiation. This is why thought discipline feels like peace, not because life is easy, but because the mind is no longer chaotic. Carnegie taught that courage grows from doing the thing you fear until fear loses authority. But that action always begins as a thought held steady. Fear survives in a scattered mind. It dissolves in a focused one. The disciplined thinker does not wait to feel ready. They act in alignment with principle, not emotion. Emotion is weather. Principle is climate. If you let weather decide your movement, your life stays seasonal. If you move by climate, you build permanence. This is how ordinary people become formidable. They stop asking, "How do I feel?" They start asking, "What does my standard require?" Standards are mental architecture. A weak mind negotiates standards when pressure appears. A strong mind already decided before pressure arrived. This is why successful people seem calm in chaos. They are not calmer by nature, they are prepared by discipline. Look at Edison. Thousands of failures did not weaken him because his thinking was anchored to process, not outcome. Each attempt reinforced belief instead of draining it. Belief does not grow from success. Belief grows from interpretation. If you interpret struggle as proof of inadequacy, you quit. If you interpret it as proof of progress, you persist. Thought discipline chooses the second interpretation every time, and repetition turns it into identity. You become the person who expects resistance and welcomes it, the person who assumes growth requires discomfort, the person who does not dramatize difficulty. This is maturity of mind. And maturity changes how the world treats you. Life tests undisciplined minds until they break. Life trains disciplined minds until they lead. Because leadership is not position, it's presence, and presence is produced by inner order. When your thoughts stop racing, your voice slows. When your beliefs stabilize, your decisions sharpen. When your mind obeys, your life follows. This is why silence is powerful. Not empty silence, but intentional silence. Moments where you pull the mind back from noise and remind it who is in charge. In those moments, you reclaim authorship. You stop letting yesterday define today. You stop letting others rent space in your head. You stop replaying what cannot be changed. You place the mind where it belongs, forward. Forward thinking is disciplined thinking. It asks, what action moves me closer to my highest version today? Not someday, not when conditions improve, today. Strong lives are built in small, repeated moments of mental obedience. You don't need a dramatic breakthrough, you need consistent command. And once command becomes a habit, life stops feeling heavy. You still carry responsibility, but without resistance, because the mind is no longer fighting the path, it chose it.
And once the path is chosen, the disciplined mind stops looking sideways. Distraction is not a lack of focus, it is a lack of decision. When the mind is undecided about who it wants to become, it chases everything. When it decides, it ignores almost everything. This is where strength becomes visible. You see it in how a person responds to temptation, not with force, not with struggle, but with indifference. The disciplined thinker doesn't wrestle with every impulse. They already know what does not belong. Weak minds debate with impulses. Strong minds dismiss them. That dismissal is power. Carnegie understood that self-mastery precedes influence. You cannot lead others if your own thoughts rebel against you. Influence begins when your inner world is aligned. Alignment is rare, and rarity creates gravity. People listen to those whose words are steady. People trust those whose actions are consistent. People follow those who are not internally fragmented. This is why thought discipline shapes destiny. Because destiny is not decided by a single bold act. It is decided by what your mind repeatedly allows. What you allow to dwell becomes what you obey. What you obey becomes what you build. Most people allow worry to dwell. They allow resentment to replay. They allow fear to rehearse future failure. And then they wonder why life feels heavy. A disciplined mind interrupts the pattern. It says, enough. Enough rehearsing defeat. Enough feeding doubt. Enough identifying with weakness. This interruption is not emotional. It is firm, like a commander restoring order. And over time, the mind learns respect. Yes, respect. Because your thoughts respond to how you treat them. If you indulge them, they dominate you. If you command them, they serve you. This is not repression, this is leadership. You are not silencing emotion, you are assigning it its proper place. Emotion informs, reason decides, discipline executes. This hierarchy creates inner stability, and stability creates momentum. Momentum is the real advantage in life, not talent, not luck, momentum. When your mind moves in one direction without hesitation, life begins to move with you. Opportunities align, confidence compounds, even setbacks lose their sting. Because the mind no longer interprets obstacles as signals to stop, but as confirmations that you are moving forward. This is how resilience is born. Resilience is not toughness, it is clarity under pressure. The disciplined thinker does not ask, why is this happening to me? They ask, what does this demand from me? That question transforms pain into purpose. Lincoln faced humiliation, loss, and repeated failure, but his thinking remained anchored to service, not self-pity. His discipline of thought allowed him to carry weight that would crush an undisciplined mind. Great responsibility does not break strong people. Weak thinking does. And the cure is always the same. Return to command. Command your attention. Command your interpretation. Command your response. Do this daily, and strength becomes quiet, almost invisible. You won't need to announce confidence. You won't need to prove resilience. Your presence will speak. Because disciplined thought radiates certainty, and certainty reshapes reality.
And now, everything comes back to one truth. Your life is not built by circumstances. It is built by the thoughts you allow to stay. Not the thoughts that pass through, but the thoughts you entertain, the thoughts you repeat, the thoughts you believe. Thought discipline is not about becoming rigid. It is about becoming unshakable. When the world grows loud, your mind stays calm. When fear tries to negotiate, your will says no. When doubt knocks, clarity answers. This is the strength most people never develop. They wait for motivation. They wait for confidence. They wait for life to become easier. But disciplined thinkers do not wait. They build themselves first. They choose their thoughts before the world chooses for them. They decide who they are before circumstances try to define them. They train the mind the way others train the body, daily, deliberately, without excuses. And slowly, quietly, their life begins to reflect that inner order. Opportunities feel different to them. Pressure feels lighter. Failure loses its power to wound. Because when the mind is strong, life cannot dominate you. This is why some people rise while others remain stuck. This is why some endure storms while others collapse. This is why some lead while others follow. Not because they were born stronger, but because they thought stronger. Thought by thought, choice by choice, day by day. And now the question is no longer philosophical, it is personal. What thoughts will you allow to rule your inner world? Because whatever you accept there will shape everything you touch out here. Discipline your thoughts, and you do not just build success, you build a life that cannot be easily broken. This is how strong lives are created.
This channel isn't for everyone. It's for those who choose discipline over excuses.